here, Metal Fan 20 here, and today we're going to be reviewing Vile by Cannibal Corpse. Now, a lot of things to talk about this album, I have to say, because originally this album wasn't even going to be called Vile at first. It was originally going to be called Created to Kill, and originally they were going to have Chris Barnes singing on this album. Yep, and yeah, when it came to a lot of the music was getting more complex. It was getting more faster, but I mean the rest of the band started writing music. Where at first the band would write the music and Chris Barnes would write the lyrics, but the rest of the band wanted to write more lyrics, including I think Alex. And so there was sort of tension between the band. Like Chris was adamant he wanted to keep things the way they were, but he didn't. But the rest of the band wanted to try new things. And the way, and sort of like how Chris is singing it, it just doesn't sound good. Like, and there is some versions. There's actually versions out on YouTube with Chris singing some songs from Vile, but were Created to Kill. If there was called the yeah, and there wasn't that good. There were some songs that were good, but overall it wasn't that good. And then there was sort of tension between Chris Barnes and the rest of the band. And then Chris Barnes actually was left or fired. I don't know why. I think he left. So he later joined another new band, 6 Feet Under, which I should probably get into them. I don't know why I haven't yet. But anyway, back to Cannibal Corpse. But yeah, they were without a singer. I think it was then Rob Barrett was the one who suggested, hey, we should get George Corpse Grinder Fisher, who used to sing for a band called Monstrosity. And when I first heard George, he was just like, holy shit. Like, his vocals are pretty much impressive. Like, I want to just also talk about the whole thing between Chris Barnes versus George Fisher. Whereas Chris can sing low, he has some brutal lows, but he can't sing really fast and high. Whereas Corpse Grinder, he can do lows, but he has the most brutal high-pitched screams, and he sings fast. Like, how he sings songs faster, like how he sort of enunciates the words properly, which it's very, very impressive, I have to say. Now, let's talk about the production of this album. It's pretty good, but not as good as The Bleeding, in my opinion, but it's pretty good. And the artwork, which I should talk about. It's pretty graphic, I have to say. Yeah. I mean, we have some dude has like staples. He has like his eyes like this, and he has teeth. And then he has like the bottom half of him cut off. We have like maggots, and his sort of dick is cut off. I was like, yeesh. And this album actually marks the first time they're actually using their current logo, the logo that they're still using today. Even they're using some of the remastered versions, the Chris Barnes' albums, which I don't like in my opinion. I just think that sucks. But yeah. Enough talk, let's talk about this album. Now, the album opens up with a song called Devoured by Vermin, which is a pretty good song. So it has, well, right off the bat you hear the high scream from Corpse Grinder, and you could tell that this is a totally different band, a new singer, new everything. It's a whole new era of Cannibal Corpse, in my opinion. Right. Next song is called Mummified in Barbed Wire, which is a pretty good song. It's very complex, has a lot of interesting parts in there. It's pretty good. Next song is called Perverse Suffering, which is a pretty good song. It has a lot of good leads, and the guitars on that sound pretty heavy. Right. Then we get to Disfigured, which has pretty much a groovy type song. It has a little bit of groove in there. And there's some sort of echoey guitar parts, or some like guitar delays and stuff. Pretty interesting effects. Next song is called Bloodlands, which is pretty good. Has a little cool. Starts off with a little wind blowing. Then it has a little guitar part, and it's actually pretty much another groovy type song. It's a bit slower, but yeah, it's pretty catchy. Then we get to the next song called Puncture Wound Massacre, which is the shortest song on the album. It's like a minute and 41 seconds. And it's all over the place. It's just like blah blah blah. Right. Next song is called Relentless Beating, which is a pretty good song. It's actually, I think, the first time they actually have an instrumental on this album, which is a pretty good song, I have to say. Then we get to Absolute Hatred, which is another good song. Of course. Then we get to the next song. Next song is called Eaten from Inside, Side, which is a pretty good song. It has a lot of good leads, and the guitar solos on that song sound pretty good. I think they sort of stand out, in my opinion. And the next song, then we get to the next song, is called "Orgasm Through Torture." Yep, it's a technical type song. It has a little slow part in there, but it's really technical. It has a lot of good guitar parts, and it's a pretty good song. It stands out. Then the last song on the album is called "Monolith," which is a good way to end this album, and a good way to end this first album with Corpse Grinder. Now, a lot of people think, have sort of mixed feelings about this album. Like, some people like it, some people they don't like it because of the new singers. Personally, I think it's a good album. Yeah, so anyway, I would give Vile by Cannibal Corpse an 8.5 out of 10. Yep, see you guys, and keep it metal.